Going on, everybody? Adachi here, and we're a week in. Congrats to everybody that made it this far. It's still been a good time, but before I get into progression today, I wanted to talk about all the mishaps and BS, honestly, coming out of XD. I don't know all the details, but I do know the fact that in Aurora, it was listed previously, even in the beta, that she did not resist DOT, damage over time. So Shadow Sonya was thought to be one of the best for that piece of content, but then they said it was a bug and they changed it, and you actually can't really find this notice in game, really. I believe I had to look in the Discord. It didn't even really give me details about it. But yes, they changed it so that way Aurora now resists DOT, so now what was formerly one of the most consistent teams for Aurora is now completely dead in the water. And this is one of the only pieces of content she was actually useful in, because a lot of bosses already do resist dot as we get further into the game. This is not only terrible for players who completely invested into this team, because you need at least 3 characters built out for this team. It's a bad precedent to set going forward, where if content is changed to directly heavily impact people's teams, that there is no way to kind of recompense or to regather all of your stuff that you've already invested into those teams. And people say, like, you could just restart or reset the characters with the event. That event is only lasting until today. It's over after today. So if this goes on into the future, then what then? And not only that, only the first reset is free. You have to spend gems for the rest of it. So I've already decided that I won't be spending any more until this issue gets addressed. Even though it wasn't a direct nerf, this should have been very clear as to how the player base would respond to it. And for people trying to brush it under the rug, I feel it's very disingenuous when it doesn't directly impact you, but it is going to directly impact the future. And it's a horrible, horrible look to have in the first week of launch. Anyway, let's move away from the negativity a bit and get on to looking at the characters that I've gotten so far. And why not start with the Shadow Sonya? Yeah, I got 3 copies of her. And now I have absolutely zero reason to build her. I did want to build out a dot team, but now I really don't. So I'll be completely skipping that. And while we're over it, since it happened on the last video, I got 3 copies of Doki. So yeah, those were the majority of all that I pulled, but I did end up getting Messiah after those, like a day or so later. So I'm happy about that. I did end up resetting my Lian. Max S3, and then I was working on maxing out the rest just because I'm a simp, but I realized I should probably put those resources somewhere else. Here's his stuff so far. Haven't really updated his shell. So far, Gray is still getting most of the love. I think he has slightly worse gear now, but he definitely has the much better shell. And these two have been kind of my core DPSs so far. I've pretty much taken them in everything, which has been great. I did bring Rosa up, and I slot her in occasionally for certain things. Marvel has honestly, he's taken a back seat. I haven't been using him as much because I realized I was getting gated on a lot of content that wanted me to buff a lot, and I mostly just had debuffers, so I pulled the trigger. I was wrong. I wasn't very open about it, but I personally just thought that Freya was a little overhyped, and I couldn't have been more wrong. She's fucking amazing. Even before I dumped any resources into her prowess, she took me to, I think she helped me clear Hell 4 on Doki, actually, with 0 prowess. And just being like a lowly 5-star. I've given her Marvel's gear, and pretty much in any content that I can use her in, I do, because she's amazing. Yeah, that's Marvel. Lilith, still amazing. She's a sleeper hit in PvP, and just the fact that she has that delayed CC makes her fantastic. Amazing to spam with another CC'er, so that way you can kind of chain CC. Honestly, a little a little broken when you're able to pull it off, but god damn it, is it fun. Also, rest in peace Kraken. I did reset him so I can get Kaz up, because she's just really good, and I will eventually build Kraken back up though. I still think he's a little better for PvP, just because I don't have to end up waking up units when I smack him. Not much to say on Doki, except for we got the 3 dupes. Dina's here going strong. I honestly don't think I've done anything to her since the last video. I might have maxed out her S3, but she's just there when I can fit her in for more defense breaks. I don't remember if I had Tsukiyomi or not before. She literally, I haven't even taken her up to 5-star. When I can fit her in teams or content where they want me to buff a lot, and Freya doesn't fit nearly as well, or I need like a speed buffer, she's great. The only negative is when I'm fighting like green content, because she is so weak, that it's hard to put her in when I need a speed buff. And I'm finally caving into the whole Deeding thing. It's kind of taken it by storm. I mentioned it before that when Victor got nerfed, Deeding was probably going to be taking his place. But I didn't pay much attention to Victor or Deeding, so I didn't know how much damage they'd really be doing, but Deeding is pretty cracked. I used him in Guild Boss the other night, and if I hadn't messed up a little bit, I would have been able to kill the light Guild Boss. Yeah, I'm slowly working on Deeding right now. Just getting more, honestly, mostly just waiting for more lattices. Get up the S3, get up his S2, and then we're in business. Which is good because I'm falling a little behind in Tear. I can clear up to Hell 2, I think. But no further. But I don't care nearly as much about getting that high on that. I'm just happy that I'm able to clear Doki Hell 4 right now. Although it takes a lot of RNG for me to clear Hell 4. And I think that's about it. If I use other characters, I do occasionally use Mia. I occasionally use Sanya, even though they have zero investment into them. But when I do need them for different pieces of content, I just throw gear on them and they're usually fine. They're not amazing, but they're fine. And I did get Ling Luo today. Pretty sick. I'm sure she's going to help me in a lot of stuff as well. So I'm going to quickly skim through to the peaks of where I am. Actually, you know what? There's a way easier way of doing this than scrolling through everything else. I could probably just look at my profile. There you go. I've cleared Hell 2 on Terror, Hell 4 on Doki, Nightmare 3 on Aurora. I could probably kill Hell. There's just way too much having to burn stamina just to do some attempts though. On Shells, we've only gotten up to Nightmare Sharon. I can't handle those dots right now, but we did just get Ling Luo, so I'm thinking maybe she can help there. If not, I'll figure it out. Maybe once Deeding's built, it'll help so I can rush her down before dots kill me. Annie Sync, I just started pushing again, so I can probably go further. I just cleared Kuru not too long ago, 30 minutes ago. Here on Ember Track, again Sharon, same deal. I mean, the dots are just nuts, and I think she's even harder here because you have to take on the negative effects just to fight her. So yeah, again, I'll come back to that when I bring in, and maybe Ling wouldn't be too good because it's only a turn of immunity. So yeah, maybe once Deeding is built up, just so you can get faster bursts. I think the big benefit that he brings is not only a lot of insane damage, it's just the fact that he bursts so fast. But we'll see. With the way he's been used in pretty much everything recently, as who knows, maybe they're gonna claim that that's a bug as well. Ethernet Rally. I was doing this last night, but it was getting super late, so I stopped doing it. But this is where we're at so far. I just gotta push a little further so I can attempt these couple of bosses here, Jock and I forget who the other one is. And then Kuru. Kuru is it's fucking hard. He is the only one out of these 3 bosses I've tried so far, and you have to kill these super tanky jellyfish really fast. We'll see how that goes. I do like a lot of things about this mode though, less so the RNG, which I might talk about another time. But the fact that you can kind of just utilize the same characters in between different teams, which makes it a lot smoother and a lot nicer to actually play this mode, even if you don't have 15 different units built out. Also, the fact that you can swap gear in between all of your characters beforehand. It's great. Another thing I might talk about in the future is the fact that it's still a huge pain in the ass to swap gear around like that, though. Alright, and similar structure to last time. I'm not going to look at PvP this time around, or at least not go into the PvP matches, but this has been my setup. Gray, Messiah, Lilith, and Freya. I could probably swap in Marvel as well, but Freya is really fast and really, really crazy. She's also just flexible when it comes to I haven't used her in RTA yet because I haven't played RTA since I got her. But here we are in RTA, Platinum 1. Let's see, I've mostly... I only really got to this point because... Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I was just grinding so that way I could get... where is it? I was grinding so I could get the summons because I needed 10 more to get Freya because I had to pull too hard pity, so... Yeah, I was just grinding out 1k there real quick, but I'll probably grind out some more. I did hear that there's a cap every week of how many points you can get, or how much currency you get, which is a little whack because I don't think it's listed anywhere. So if that is the case, that is lame, but I guess we'll see. In RTA, it's been smack people around with Lilith. The only time it was annoying is there's one time here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I played against one guy. Here it is. I played against this guy, I think it was. and then, you know, did the old clappy blappy on him, and then the next day we matched again immediately after. And he was like, fuck you, I'm banning Lilith. So that's when I was like, ah, fuck, I forgot Lilith is like the only thing I had. He took Marvel in pick 1 and then banned Lilith, so I was like, ah, fuck, I've got nobody to nobody to push me or knock him back. But yeah, it's been a fun time so far, at least at this point. Now, I don't think there's anything new going on in the shops. I'm just saving my pull currency, because right now I'm in save mode. We'll look at my summons in a minute. But yeah, I'm just waiting for this to reset so I can grab the perfect lattice, and then I would like to grab probably the summons again, honestly. I want to start stockpiling summons. This would be nice too, but I'd rather hold on to the 3k for another perfect lattice, because I'm not going to be summoning enough to be getting 3k again like that. Arena shop with a full week this time. You know, I was actually able to get it pretty early, but that's because I don't think I bought anything else after I got the lattice in the last reset, so got the lattice again, and we still got 4 days, so we'll get to chug along there. Anima, saving up all my anima and dumping all in Messiah. I just want to make sure that, if at all possible, that I can keep carrying Messiah into the future. You know, I'd like to look forward to at least 6 months from now and be like, Messiah is still like one of my best characters. And if this video does go up today, remember that the reset event, you can see I've already used it a couple times. The reset event is ending today, so make sure that you don't regret anything you've invested in so far and take advantage of this before it's gone. All right, and last summons. Unfortunately, we're not gonna do a summon this time. I'm gonna be smart about it. I'm gonna save the rest of my summons now. I've got 48 saved up. I had 30 saved up before I decided to start pulling for Freya, and then I went and had to do the hard pity for Freya. So that went bye-bye, and then I wasn't able to save up much beyond that. So we have 9 LD tickets, and then 48 standard tickets with 9 of these, whatever these freebies. I honestly don't really understand the freebie tickets. I don't know why these wouldn't just be regular tickets. It kind of doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, we'll be saving that up too. It'd be nice at least if these were like generic and I can use these on LD or something. It's just weird that they exist. I don't get it. Yeah, these banners end in 2 days. Well, today and then 2 days. So these should rotate out. I'm personally, because we're at launch, I'm personally hoping that we'll get new characters, because I know a lot of times these PvP games, and I think it's very important that they do, is that they will end up repeating raid ups on a lot of characters, especially very important ones. So that way people can make sure that they're getting everything that they need to for their account. But because this is launch, a lot of people have stockpiled resources. I think it would be a smart play, and it would be a more fun play for me personally if they would drop some new characters. But if they don't, completely fine with that. I would just skip out on the RGB banner personally. I think I'm pretty solid and set in all my characters, reason why I'm not pulling anymore. I'm also not going to gamble anymore on this for now. I just don't see Heinrich, Lily, or Mio in my future. But if they change this is the one where I'm like, I'd actually be 100% a-okay if they just switch this to a rate up on another character, whether it be, again, Heinrich, Lily, or Mio. I'd be very happy about that, and I'd probably start pulling a little bit on the rate up, actually. Probably not with gems. I'm probably going to keep holding my gems as much as I can, and then I'll just try and clean out LD summons wherever I can. And maybe if I can spend a little bit of gems in arena or something to grab LD tickets out of shops. That's probably would be my goal personally if they did throw, you know, one of the big catches there. It'd be really funny if they threw fucking Shadow Sonya as the next trade up. People would be like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, it's been very good. We're going to hit the very slow point now that I'm at rank 41 currently, and anybody else that is approaching 40 and then getting into 40. The entire 40 to 50 climb is basically just going to be building out your teams, kitting them out, and continuing to push up into Hell 4 until we get to Inferno, because I don't know if you've noticed, leveling becomes a lot slower. So it's going to be a hot minute before we hit Inferno. Also, in the beta, there was a double drop event that should be starting tomorrow, and I guess we'll have to wait and see if that ends up happening again. Which, in my opinion, it should, because they've been pretty radio silent as far as communication with the player base goes on a lot of different things, and kind of just shadow changing a lot of things when they were, you know, so open when it came to the pre-launch patch about all these different changes, but then not even all the changes have been listed. Very weird for what they try to push and consider as like a competitive PvP game, and they make all these different like minor adjustments that heavily impact the game, like Marvel's speed being nerfed from the beta, which some could argue that these are happening before launch. They're not really nerfs, but they are, because they already made this big patch note list before the launch happened. So clearly they were trying to communicate that there were a lot of changes happening, but they didn't communicate all of them. So I'll remain cautiously optimistic for the future, and I'll be keeping an eye on all of the news on that, and I'm hoping that they continue to do better. There's been very few W's, I would say, as far as like news about this game has gone. It's mostly been L's, and they have nobody but themselves to blame. But with that, thanks everybody for watching. If you made it this far, I should be streaming some, probably just doing dailies, and then I'll probably be doing a bunch of RTA as well. So, you know, if you're interested in that, then come check that out. But otherwise, until next time, take care, and I'll see you.